Hey y'all. So honestly, I've been getting a lot of questions, comments, concerns about what it takes to be an influencer. How do I start? How to negotiate? How can I price, right? And today I'm going to talk about how to charge, like how to charge these brands and just effective methods that you can use. But before I go into how much to charge, I think it's important to know other factors that you can charge for. It's definitely more than just posting an Instagram post and an Instagram story. You have to take into account many other things, such as usage, exclusivity, and even content turnaround time. So when it comes to how much you should charge for an Instagram post, Instagram Reels, stories, this is the only thing that I will use on a percentage basis. And I charge anywhere between 4% to 8% of the following. So for an Instagram post, I'll charge anywhere between 4 and 8%. For a reel, I'll add a little bit more to that price than the IG post because a reel is more valuable than an IG post. And for IG stories, I kind of make that about half of what I would charge for an Instagram post. So if you're charging $1,000 for an Instagram post, you'll charge $500 for an IG story, and I would probably do about $1,250 for an Instagram reel. And it just, you can kind of tailor it like that. But me, I'll always aim high. I aim as high as possible. So it's always going to be more so between that 6 and 8% of the followers that I would charge. And you can use the same calculation for YouTube as well. I use the same thing. So for a dedicated video, I would charge anywhere between that 4 and 8%. And if it's just an integration, I'll charge about half of that price for the dedicated video. So one thing that you can definitely include in your rate is usage. Usage is basically how the brand intends to use the content that you create. Are they going to put on their social media, their website? Are they going to put paid advertising behind that? You can charge for that because your likeness and your content can really persuade someone to go buy that product, right? Just based off how you look. And imagine you created this content and you're just flipping through a magazine and you randomly see your photo. You're probably thinking like, I should definitely be getting paid for that, right? So that's why you want to include that in your rate, because if a brand is just using your content for a year and it's just going here, there, and there, and you didn't include those extra fees to accommodate your likeness that is being used across the board, then you're definitely taking a hit. So another thing that you can definitely charge for is exclusivity. That is when a brand wants you to be exclusive to their brand, meaning that you cannot post their competitors for a certain period of time. And when you're thinking about pricing for exclusivity, you want to think of it as like accommodating or adding to funds that could potentially be lost because you're not able to work with a similar brand. Let's say, for instance, you are a skincare influencer and you're under exclusivity for a facial moisturizer. You're not able to work with any other moisturizer until that certain period of time. So when you are charging for exclusivity, you want to take about 50 to 100% of the rate that you would probably charge for an Instagram post, just to make sure like you're covered for any potential funds lost. Now, when it comes to usage, it's kind of hard for me to give a method of how to charge for usage because it's all case-by-case basis. Standard usage that most brands ask for is about 3 months, which, cool. Anything past 3 months you can definitely charge for. So with usage, I would just kind of play with it and see what the brands are being kind of like receptive to. But at the end of the day, you definitely want to have a charge for it. But I don't have a secret formula to like, 2% of your following. No, I think it's just all case-by-case basis based on how much usage they're asking for, and also just kind of tying it and tailoring it off the exclusivity as well. If a brand wants 1 year of usage, that's going to cost you for sure. Even 6 months of usage could really cost you because, like I said, when it comes to usage, you have to think about the brand just using your content like whatever, and you never want to be in a situation where you're just scrolling or you're flipping through a magazine and you see your content and you created that content literally 6 months to a year ago and it's still doing numbers. And you don't know if your likeness is causing consumers to go buy. So before even thinking about it or making it a concern, just go ahead and charge for it. Just go ahead and charge for it. Once a brand decides to put paid media behind your content, you can definitely use that to your advantage. That means that you have something that they like, and you do what you want to do with that information. But at the end of the day, just make sure that you are charging something for usage. I would hate to have an influencer create this pretty perfect content, sales driving content, and they're not getting nothing for it. So definitely charge for usage. Now listen, when it comes to content turnaround time, the brands will try you, and they definitely be tripping. But no, seriously, like, they will literally sometimes ask you to give something to them in 3 days or a week. And that's something that you can charge for, because that's just too much pressure. Like, y'all want me to do all these deliverables in a week? Oh, you gotta pay for that, like, because that means, like, you need to just pay for me to be dedicated, like, to the task. No, but seriously, like, if they're asking for a quick turnaround time and, like, it requires you to put other content or other campaigns on hold because they need their content before that, you can charge for that. Because honestly, I just charge for it because that's just stressful. Like, don't be asking me for all of this in a week. So definitely always pay attention to when they want the content and price accordingly. How to charge for content turnaround time, it's on case-by-case basis, but you can always add anywhere between a good extra 200 to 1,000, just depending on your following, your engagement, all the other things that you have going on. But you definitely want to make sure that content turnaround time is included in your rate. I definitely want to thank y'all so much for rocking with me today, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all right now, this is not something I'm about to be doing every week or day. I kind of just want to spread the knowledge when it kind of makes sense, when I have time and everything just flows. But it's definitely not something that I'm committing to on a weekly or daily basis. So just know the gems will definitely come when they need to come. So once again, thank y'all so much. Please let me know what other things you guys are interested in when it comes to influencing. I had got a lot of inquiries the other day when I asked on my story, and that's kind of how I'm starting this series now, answering those questions for you guys. But if y'all ever have any questions, comments, concerns when it comes to influencing, I'm your girl. Just let me know and I got you. So until next time,